Okay, so my topic today, we're going to speak about how to move past friendship trauma. And actually, the reason I'm even speaking about this today because I was watching a video titled "How to Make Friends Easily," and the person that made the video, their name is, I don't want to butcher the name, but their name is Tam Kaur. I may mess it up. Sorry, I'm really not good with names, but I'll put the link in the description of her like episode of what she was talking about because it actually was like very explicit and very like logically thought out and it really helped me like think about a lot of things. So I'm kind of using a point from her video and talking about it in my own ways. So thank you for that idea. But today, like I said, I want to talk about how to move past friendship trauma. So so there's gonna be two parts to this video. I have four fingers up, but there's gonna be two parts. The first part is going to speak about how friendship trauma can affect you, how it can change how you think and feel. In the second part, we're going to talk about how you can move forward from that friendship trauma and what you can do to heal and change from those perceptions of yourself. So, the first part, like I said before, is how can it affect you. So, the first thing, number one, it can create having friendship problems, having friendship trauma. It can create a false perception of yourself like it can honestly. Like there's so many friendships in our lives and stuff and there's so many things going on, but if you've had a negative friendship encounter where you lost a close friend or you don't have a main friend group and stuff like that, and especially if you've gotten traumatized in the past from that, like that definitely can create like a false perception of yourself. Like you can see yourself in a different light and you may not think it, but subconsciously, like for example, say you have like a good close friend and they backstab you or whatever, and you're like, wow, like I thought we were really close, like why would they do that to me? That hurts my feelings so much. And you start questioning yourself, like, did I make the right choice? Like, am I a good person? Like, did I do something wrong for them to make them do that to me? Like, what is the reason behind it? Like, you question all these things, and it can change your perception of yourself and how you look at yourself, because you could be questioning, is it my fault? Like, am I this negative person? Like, is that the reason they don't want to be friends with me? But most of the time, people's perceptions of you is not even about you. It's literally about them and how they feel. So I understand it can be hard. Number two, the second thing is it can be harder to make friends. Like that's the thing that people don't talk about. Like friendship trauma, like for me personally, has made it harder for me to make friends. Like I'm not even joking. Like I sometimes just want to isolate myself and I don't want to put myself out in the world, but I'm working on changing from that because in high school I was very isolated. Like I literally like after freshman year I was like in my home, like not doing anything. Like I never had the high school experience and stuff, which I'm kind of sad about, but not really because now I get that the college experience and that's all that really matters. And that makes sense. Like the past is the past, you know. But it's hard to make friends. Like it was harder for me even to make friends in college. I'm still working on it, you know. Maybe harder for you. Every person's different, but it can be, you can get more anxious or more fearful and be like, well, since I have this past experience, I don't know if I can make friends with these people now. So that's the second reason why some people may have a hard time with that. A third thing, and these are kind of like the third and the fourth point are kind of similar, but the third point is it became like having friendship trauma can make you more depressed and isolated. And I'll be the first to say it definitely has affected me. Like I hate saying that, but it definitely has affected me. Like when I like had a friendship problems in high school and stuff, and even in college, I got really depressed for a while. I could become isolated. That's just how I am. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to do stuff. You know what I'm saying? And when you go into the real world, you feel like you're wearing a mask. If that makes any sense, like you're there, but you're not there because how depressed and isolated you feel. Because, like I said before, it changes your perception of yourself. So you become depressed and somewhat isolated. You don't want to go out because of that trauma. The fifth thing or the fourth reason is, like I said, it's more self-doubt and anxiety. Like when you have friendship trauma and you have past friendships that have been messed up that you were close with, or you have friend groups that you were close with that you're not, it creates self-doubt and anxiety. So when you want to go out in the future, you're afraid, oh, are they going to do the same thing they did to me? Like, am I going to repeat the same pattern over and over again? Like, should I even be with these friends? And like, how can I even go introduce myself when I'm anxious as hell? Like, I can't even go up to this person and say hi. Like, what if they don't like me, or what if we don't connect? Like, all these anxieties and self doubt can definitely come in because of friendship trauma. Number five, it may cause other problems in your life, especially when you're young, especially in high school and middle school. Oh my God, like, you know, when you had those, like, you had a really bad day at school and high school, whatever, and you had like friendship drama, and you would come home and like exploded low key on your, and maybe it wasn't even an intention to, but you exploded on your mom, your dad, your siblings. Like you were like, I hate, like in your head, you're like, I hate my life. I hate, oh, I don't have any friends, or I'm having these friendship problems and stuff. And you explode intentionally or unintentionally, and that can affect others around you. Like people don't understand that our lives are interconnected. Like you can't just solely cut off friendships from family to relationships to work from school. Like it's all interconnected in a way. And the like friendship trauma can literally cause other problems in your life that you never meant to happen. They can even cause problems in friendships and the other friendships and in even relationships. And sometimes it's unintentional. It might be intentional. Most of the time, I feel like for most people, like for myself, it was unintentional. So that's a big one. Like I said, number 7, it creates a negative false image of yourself, like a false perception, like I was talking about in number 1, but this is different. But it creates like a negative image of yourself, like you feel less than, you have these self-doubt, you have all these negative images about you, all these questions like, oh, am I good enough? Like, was it my fault or is it their fault? Like, what am I missing out? Like, was there stuff going on my back? Like, why aren't we friends anymore? Like, what did I do? What did they do? Like, are they just done with me? Like, why are they treating me this way? Like, why are they so rude towards me now? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or they don't like me anymore. Like, why do they choose their boyfriend over me or girlfriend over me? Like, it creates like a false perception, a false image, a negative image of yourself. And it's really hard. And the 8th thing, and I feel like this is like one of the most important things out of my topics of how can like friendship trauma affect you, it's grief. Friendship grief is very real. It's a very real thing that a lot of people don't talk about, or it's talked about, but you don't really think about it when you're talking about the people breaking up. You're like, oh, that's crazy. They did X, Y, and Z, or blah, blah, blah. But you never really see or feel the grief in a way from those people, or maybe even from yourself. You know, when you talk about friends and they're like, oh yeah, we're not friends anymore. You're like, damn, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy. But you don't really see the grief. You just see the betrayal or the negative things that happen. But like friendship grief is like a really big thing that a lot of people don't talk about, or is not like really expressed openly. Like grief, like you're grieving a friendship. But think about it, especially if you're close friends with someone or you have a friend group that's really close in high school, college, whatever. Like you literally spend almost every day with them. You go out and eat. You literally like go out and drink, go to clubs together, go to party. Y'all talk about y'all's internal feelings sometimes, depending on the group or people you're with or friend you're with. Like you share a lot of your life together. So, for example, I'm gonna use my example. Like, this is your friend group, right? And then this is you. Like y'all are like tight, really tight. And the next thing you know, boom, they're out of your life and you're by yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is all you have. They're not here anymore. This is just you. So, I feel like just like a relationship grief, it's that same example. Like when you do not have those people in your life, it's really harder to like deal with the grief because you're kind of alone, or you don't have as the friends you thought you were going to have for the rest of your life and stuff. And so friendship grief is very real and very valid, and it affects us more than we know. Okay, everyone, back to my second part of the video. And also, do you like my shirt, my friend? I bought it from him for like $5. I love shirts like this. Like, I will skate in this, so I'm very happy. So the second part is how to move past the friendship trauma, how to move forward with your life, how to maybe heal, or at least, like I said, move forward. So I sectioned this into 2 different parts, but like, because half of this is like self-realization, self-journey, and the other half is like going out and making new friends. So the first part is like more internal work, self-work. So the first thing you do when you have a friendship breakup, just acknowledge your pain, your feelings, your grief, your sadness, acknowledge all that shit, accept it. You know, just be like, wow, this person, I don't know your circumstance, but this person really hurt me, or we maybe miscommunicated, or they chose their girlfriend over me, or whatever the point, because everyone has different types of friendships and friendship breakups, you know what I'm saying? But just acknowledge your pain, and just remember, like, it is all valid, like, whatever you feel, because it is painful when you lose friends or groups of friends or whatever the case may be, someone you thought you would be with forever. So acknowledge that pain, and then avoid rumination, because that's a problem for me. Like, and a lot of people, they want to ruminate, like those thoughts keep going. It's like those really old-timey film cameras, you know, the little film and stuff. I'll put it up here. But it just keeps going, like flashing forward, like flashback. Try not to let that happen. I know it's hard for some people because everyone's brain works differently, but especially if you have like some mental illness, if you know what I'm saying, like it can really mess you up in the brain. So just remember to try to avoid rumination. I know it's easier said than done, and if you can't do that, it's okay, but try your best to like avoid that stuff, and just acknowledge your pain, acceptance that it happened, and try to avoid that rumination. And then the third, try to do some self-realization. Now, every situation, friendship situation is different. So sometimes what they did to you was messed up and wrong. So you really have nothing. You should still think about, analyze the situation, but you really have nothing to feel bad for, technically, because you didn't do anything. And sometimes you may be in the wrong to a certain extent, and that's what you have to accept as well. Because I feel like a lot of people, some people love to victimize themselves and not take accountability in the same instance. For example, I'll give you, so Billy and John, right? And this is a friendship, right? So Billy, I don't really know the relationship, but Billy says John is a bad person, talks crap, right? That's wrong with Billy. And then John is a good friend, but John goes behind their back and steals money from them. They're not a good friend either. And this is very like a simple example, but I'm saying like both these people are wrong in their own way for doing that to each other, from talking shit and stealing money from this person, but they're both in the wrong. But the reason of this example is to realize that like there's not only one perpetrator and one victim technically. Like they're both bad in their own way, but they're still friends. That makes sense. Like it's more complex than you think. It's not all friendships, breakups aren't always one-sided, because you have to look at yourself, like reflect yourself and be like, wow, like I did these A, B, and C. Maybe that's why they felt this way and they acted this way. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. Other friend needs to realize that as well. So, every situation is different. Sometimes you're the victim completely, I guess. That makes sense. Like sometimes people do screw you over, and that's wrong. And sometimes you have a part to play in the demise of the friendship. And that's a lot of people who don't want to accept is accountability in their friendships. And that's something that you have to work on individually. But every situation is different. So your situation only, right? So you can decide if you need to take accountability or just realize, hey, they screwed me over and that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? But still self-reflect. Self-reflect no matter what is a really good thing to do. Self-reflection is needed to grow as a person. On the fourth part, kind of going into that, to self-reflect, you can journal, read, and write. Like just journal a lot, journal how they made you feel, like write down the pros and cons of the friendship, like write down how they made you feel, like what you could have improved on, what they could have improved on, what the catalyst of what caused the friendship to break up and stuff. And you can like learn from those past experiences. So when you go into new friendships, you won't make those same mistakes, and you can learn and grow as a person individually. That's very important. So just journal, read, write, do what you need to do, express your feelings. They're all valid in your friendship trauma and your friendship breakup, and learn from that. You know what I'm saying? And then the fifth part is gain more knowledge about friendship. Like not everyone, this is the hot topic, but people don't realize that everyone is at a different level in knowledge. And this is not me saying anyone is less than, but everyone is just built differently, really. Like everyone is built differently, how they think, how they work, how their mind maneuvers like a machine. Like everyone is differently. Everyone is built differently. So you have to realize, like, try to gain knowledge about friendships. Like look up on the internet how to make new friends, how to resolve from friendship trauma, how to self-reflect, like those type of things, because you can learn from other people's experiences, so you know what to do and what to not do. Because that's the one thing as human beings that we can do. We can learn from other people's mistakes. And you may not be able to control your entire life or your actions, but you can learn from other people's actions so you do not make the same mistakes again. That really does help a lot of people. Like I said, just gain more knowledge, look at people's experiences so you can relate to them. Like TikTok, YouTube's very good for that too as well. And yeah, so that just really does help people just get some knowledge, get some experience, like talk to other people, so it can help you not feel so alone. You feel like you have a community in a way, if that makes any sense. So those are the four like work that you need to do for yourself to try to like heal or like move forward from that friendship trauma. And I feel like it's not talked about because I feel like in society we're like, oh, okay, like we're not friends anymore, and then we'll have like not a manic episode necessarily, but we'll have like an episode of feelings and emotions, and then we'll just throw it out and move forward with our lives. And that's great to a certain extent, but is that actually truly healing or just avoidance? Honest, like a lot of people have self-avoidance issues and stuff. And so maybe that's some ways you can work on your self-work, self-healing through friendship trauma, is doing by some of these things. Now, the exterior parts of how to move forward from friendship trauma. So we talked about the interior stuff, like mental stuff, physical stuff. Now we're talking about like going out and actually like doing things, connecting people to make new friends, to move forward from the old friendship trauma, So One way to do that is practice self-care. Like literally just practice self-care. Like find a hobby. Talk to your parents if you can. Play with your animal, your dog, your cat. Like self-care. Do makeup. If you like makeup, do makeup. If you like play a sport, go play a sport. Go swim. Um, if you like to make videos, go make videos. Like any type of self-care, like and the basics of self-care too. That's like more like hobbies or things you can do, or the basics of self-care like shower, brush your teeth, like clean yourself, wear perfume, put some eyeliner on, like make sure you try to have good skin, you know what I'm saying? Wear cute clothes, like that's just the basics of self-care, just taking care of yourself every day so you can present yourself out into the world. Because when people see that you take care of yourself, they literally will like you more. Hello everyone. So yesterday I only finished half of the clip, so today I'm going to finish the video. I got distracted because I went to a festival with some friends and stuff, so I'm going to finish what I was speaking about. So number 2 of the outer work, or of the going out and doing things, is try to find new hobbies. Like for example, like I was saying, like find new hobbies, like go out and figure yourself out pretty much. Like find, if you like skateboarding, go skateboard, you know, just finding new hobbies, new ways to like make your life more interesting will help you move forward from that past trauma. Or a good way to find a hobby is exercising. Exercising is really good for your mental health, your physical health. And I'm not saying, I think the misconception when people think exercise, you're like at the gym for an hour and a half. No, you literally do not have to do that. You can do a 15-minute yoga workout. You can do a 20-minute walk around the track. You can lay in the sun for 20 minutes. That's technically not exercise, but that gives you something to do, like these new hobbies, or just exercise, like exercise your mind, exercise your body, because that releases endorphins and good chemicals in your brain and stuff, and it makes you just feel better. You know what I'm saying? Find something, an exercise routine that you know you'll be consistent at, that won't drain your energy too much, that you actually will enjoy. Like for myself, like I enjoy soccer. I go play soccer sometimes, or I like to swim, so I go swim. Find something that you know won't overstrenuize yourself, will make you not want to do it. Like you want to find an exercise that will make you want to keep going back and back to it and have a consistency. Because when you have consistency, your brain changes the pattern of how it thinks and how it works. So you can focus on a more positive aspect. So exercise or just finding new hobbies will really help you just expand your brain and keep you busy and focusing on other things. The third tip I said for moving forward from friendship trauma is honestly just talk to someone. Like I know it's sometimes hard when you have close friends that aren't in your life anymore, or friend groups that aren't in your life anymore, because it's really hard, because that was like your part of your life for a long period of time. But you have to remember that there are people that you can talk to, that your family members, your grandmother, grandfather, your mom, your dad. Talk to your cat, your animal. They won't say anything. You know what I'm saying? Talk to a close friend that you can trust, and you don't gotta tell them every little detail, but just talk to them about how you feel, because I feel like when you talk to someone, you can really explain what you're feeling, and you can trust that person to understand what you're going through and stuff. Because like I said, a lot of other people have been through similar like friendship breakups, maybe not the same circumstances, but everyone has had a friendship breakup in their life, everyone. So it's good to talk to someone about how you feel, and like just vent to someone, and they can tell you about their experiences and stuff, and it just helps not feel so alone. Like I said, talking to someone or going on the internet, and you can find people that relate to your situation as well, because people will post about that stuff a million times already. So TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, you will find someone to talk to someone. But if you can talk to someone in person, that would be even better, so you can relate on a different level, like an interpersonal level. And finally, the fourth tip is to move forward from the friendship trauma is to surround yourself with like positive, genuine people. And that's kind of the goal anyway, is like to make new friends, like release that old friendship negative energy or whatever you're feeling, and surround yourself with better people. Because this is a good tip, I feel like birds of a feather flock together. Like that's a truth. Like human beings are very impressionable sometimes. Like you see something, you kind of want to do it, or you may not want to do it, but you're like, oh, it becomes more normalized. That's really it. I'm just saying that it's more normalized, and the imagery is kind of like pushed into your brain, so things could happen. You never know. So that's what I'm saying, like birds of a feather flock together. Just try to surround yourself with more positive, genuine people. And it doesn't got to be a lot of people. It could be like 1 or 2 people, but someone that really does care about you and you trust, and that you can be yourself around. You don't feel judged. and that'll take time, you know, because all that friendship trauma that you have, it'll take time to surround yourself with new positive people. But if you put yourself out there and slowly work towards those goals, you definitely can achieve them. It just takes a while. It's not, some people it's easier, some people it's harder. Everyone's different. So you have to remember to take your own time, and it's your own path. Like, you can't build Rome in a day. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just literally impossible. Like, so just slowly try to surround yourself with positive, genuine people, because you will forget about your old friends that you had problems with, and you can learn from those mistakes and make better, new, genuine friends that actually do care about you, love you, respect you, because you deserve that. You deserve to be loved and respected, and you deserve good friendships, and you deserve to be happy with those friends, because friendships are a big social base that almost everyone needs in some way. So, like I said, just try to surround yourself with positive people. So in conclusion, this video is pretty much talking about the two parts, like I was explaining, about how friendship trauma can affect you and how you can move forward from the friendship trauma personally, like internally, and then externally as well. So these are just a few tips and tricks that I've given myself through the years that I would hopefully help someone in their time of need if they're having friendship problems or are not part of a friendship group or part of a friend they used to be. Remember that it's just normal, it's part of change, and that is totally okay. I know it hurts, it's so valid to feel that way, but eventually you have to make that choice to move forward and make new and better friends, because that is your past, you're living in your present, and you're trying to move towards your future. So it takes time. It's not an easy thing, it takes time, but I believe in you that you can do it, and just take it one step at a time. But I hope these tips, like my explanation about and about how you might be feeling, or the effects of friendship trauma and how you can overcome that and maybe heal, or at least get through those problems and stuff to make new friends. I hope this really does help you figure some stuff out. And like I said, not my advice, is just from my own personal experience, my personal opinion. So take it as you want, but I hope that honestly this advice helps you in some way, shape, or form, because we all have problems, and friendships are a very big part of our lives, and none of us have the same friends from when we were like elementary school or middle school or even high school, you know? So I really hope this helps someone in any way, and I hope that you don't feel alone, because college can be hard, friendships can be hard, but you're not alone. And I hope that this helps someone, and this is just me learning from my personal experience with friends. And thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it. Bye.